We're speaking to Martin today. He bought the business he worked for. It's a business doing around £4.5 million per year. Actually, fascinating fact about him, he spends £540,000 a year on rent for his warehouse. What's the business? It's the logistics business. More specialist than generalist. I think it's a good business. He's got the ump about things. HMRC had taken all his money, overheads are going through the roof. Haven't we all got that in our minds right now? It's a powerful conversation. Strap yourselves in. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair, the entrepreneur extraordinaire, and this is James.
Wow, is that
the official?
Wow, is that how you're referencing yourself? That is strong. He's turned 40 and his ego's gone through the roof. He's like, look at me now. Look what I can achieve.
I just put my job title on Instagram. I'm just James Sinclair entrepreneur. That's all I am. Just trying to make some money. Don't try and turn it
back on me.
I would never call myself James Sinclair official.
I'm James Sinclair entrepreneur extraordinaire. I love having this face mask on hand just in case I need it. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This is a podcast designed to help you grow your business.
The podcast
through the insights and wisdom of a man who's turning, what are you going to turn this year? About 50 million quid?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
That is a lot of dough.
Keeping hold of it is the real skill.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't matter how much you make, it's how much you keep hold of, how much you can siphon off so rates thieves don't get hands on it. Here's the thing.
I was going to tell you something about. Let's talk about this. Then you got your here's the thing. Apparently, and I've got this on good guidance now. HMRC are checking people on Instagram and Facebook and seeing if their boasts on socials match their tax returns if they investigate you. And if you're doing lots of international travel, for example, you've got a G-Wagon, and you're saying you're an electrician that only earns 35 grand a year. If the math don't math.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
And they are doing that.
Well,
an accountant told me. That's
sense.
Someone that's got letters after their name is saying that. What is that? Is that Chuds on the tippy tappy tap? That's my little. It's not an interesting fact of quote of the week, but it's a prelude to interesting facts.
It's a bonus one. Very nice. Thank you very much.
For example, if you was posting on Instagram and Facebook and they saw that outfit, they wouldn't be investigating.
Are you having a laugh? Yours has actually got flip flops on the shirt today.
Yeah.
You look like you didn't realise you were coming here. You were going to Southend for a day out, and then suddenly Chuds went, can you just come here instead?
This is one of the hottest days of the year.
It is so far, 27 degrees it could be today.
You look like a Cub Scout leader and you're actually having a go at me.
Are you joking? This is linen. It's the lightest material ever.
Yeah, I'm 40, not 65.
I give up with you.
Well, look. It's nice to see you swapping fashion for comfort.
Well, I always do. I was going to say...
it's nice.
I was going to say, don't touch me. I was going to say it's too hot. What does your dad make of all your success? Because I met him on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him, but I was like, as soon as he walked in, I was like, that's got to be Jimbo's dad. You got a similar look about you.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what does he make of it all?
He did say some very nice things to me, which he doesn't usually do he said, I'm very proud of you.
Did he?
At the party, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because he didn't think that Jimbo the Clown was going to make a rip-roaring success of life.
Did he not?
No.
Did he try and persuade you against entrepreneurial ventures to start with?
No, my nan bought me my first mini disc players and CD players that sort of got me going from the Richer Sound story.
From Richer Sound, yeah.
I asked him to lend me some money and he just went, no.
Really?
And he had the money to do it.
What does he do, your dad? He's
a Sparky, but he done property and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to make money, but he'd never employed anyone.
Oh, really? Sole trader kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Do you know who was my favourite person to see on Saturday night? Was Jean.
Jean Shaw. She was
the famous Jean, who, if people have followed your content for a little while, so when you were 16, so you was just fresh out of school.
Yeah.
And you had a PA who worked in the back bedroom at your nan's house.
Yeah.
And that lady was actually at dinner on Saturday.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
And she just looked, every time you spoke, she just had that look in her face like she couldn't believe what you'd achieved. Like the level of pride that she looked at. I was like, oh my God, that must be so strange to see.
She's a good person.
A kid So she was your nan's friend, was she?
No, she wasn't. No, she was my nan's cousin's wife.
Okay.
So she was loosely, I mean, not family by blood, but yeah. She was
Family
good.
by heart.
Family by heart. She makes a mean coronation chicken sandwich as well.
Does she really?
From scratch.
Oh, that from scratch?
Yeah.
You could always trust people who can make a coronation chicken sandwich, can't you?
Absolutely.
Right, well, before it gets too misty-eyed, let's go here, shall we? It's
Interesting quote.
Type of interesting fact or quote.
Come on now.
Interesting quote of fact.
Yeah.
Interesting quote of fact.
I want a baseball hat on the wrong way round
week.
when we sing this next
We
jingle.
should. We definitely should. We got a fact or a quote.
Well, I've got loads here from friends on Instagram,
Have
and
you?
I love this one from Tidy Solutions. Hello, Tidy Solutions.
They always send in messages, don't they, Tidy Solutions?
Small tweaks lead to large peaks. Never heard that before.
That is good. I like it.
Careful how you say it, but yeah, small tweaks lead to large peaks.
Yes.
I really love that.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
Oh my God.
Come on.
This is a good one as
Here he
well.
goes.
From Alistair Dare Duns. The world rewards the specific ask and punishes the vague wish.
Oh, yeah, that's good, isn't it?
That's very. Have you heard that one before, Chuds?
Yeah, I bet you said that on Chris Williamson.
Say that one more time.
The world rewards the world rewards the specific ask and punishes the vague wish.
I heard that on Chris's podcast this morning with Jimmy Carr.
Did you?
Yeah, Chris was quoting someone else. So I'm
Oh,
assuming,
is that where it's from?
I'm assuming
Okay.
that.
Apparently, it's from Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, and Chris was quoting Tim Ferriss. Yeah,
Oh, there you go. There you
It's
go.
a good episode. Did you enjoy that episode?
Anything with Jimmy Carr is fantastic,
Just
isn't it?
great. He's hilarious and he's like a philosopher all rolled into one. I mean, what's not to like?
And then Jim
one more.
Muffy 73 said, "Went to Rossi along the seafront last night. The young man that served us is a credit." Well done. I will find out who that
Oh,
is.
fantastic.
There you go. I mean, I've got so more, but we'll wait for them on later pods.
Oh, I tell you what, you'll be having it off today, won't you? 27 degrees at Rossi. Come
Rossi.
on, baby.
I mean, I'll give you some interesting facts or quotes of the week.
Please do.
So we've got 2 Rossi shops on Southend Seafront on Sunday, which was Father's Day.
Yes.
£12,000. That is a good take for 2 ice cream shops.
That's very good, isn't it?
One of them took 10 and the other one took 2.
Wow-wee.
Unbelievable. There's no alcohol sold, hardly any food.
So that's just sales of ice cream.
Ice cream.
10,000 quid's worth of ice cream.
Unbelievable.
That's a lot of ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. Hey, last night it was our wedding anniversary and we went to the Roslin, which is a very nice hotel restaurant. I mean, it's been a real banger of
I was about to say, this is
celebrations.
what?
Birthday, Father's Day, wedding anniversary. So we went to Pablo, went to the Rossi ice cream. No, start again. We went to
The Roslin.
the Roslin, had dinner. And then,
Where's this? In Southend?
yeah, and then that's one end of the seafront. And we said, "Oh, let's go to Rossi now and get an ice cream." And there was 3 tables in this little nice veranda bit. Those other 2 tables plus us drove down to Rossi to get an ice cream at the end of their meal.
Really?
And what there is a little message for business here. If you are in people's, like you love the word zeitgeist, habit, you can just win.
Yeah.
And that's why I like buying established businesses.
So they left a very nice restaurant to go down the other end of the town to get an ice cream.
Yeah, because they would have done it with their parents,
Yeah,
their
exactly.
grandparents.
Yeah.
It's in their habits. And that's what I love.
That's when you talk about like buying these established businesses. That's the benefit that you can't, the intangible benefit is that sort of stuff, isn't it? That
Absolutely.
you are
And,
ingrained in people's history.
Think why do people go to Pret over the independent sandwich shop that could be better than Pret?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, no, I know what that's going to be like at Pret.
Yeah. Very true. Well, you've had a great weekend of celebrations,
I know.
haven't you? I
Gotta pay for it all now.
I saw that in your letter. The bill came up about 3 or 4 times in your letter. I was like, it must have been a chunky one.
Well, I've just come to realise that you become older
It just gets more expensive, doesn't
and
it?
you don't get gifts.
No.
I mean, you've bought me an If poem and a barbecue set. I mean, what I paid for you and Hayley to dine was a lot more than that tripe that you bought me.
The real James Sinclair's coming out today. I love it.
Hey,
yeah.
did you read my newsletter? I mean, I will talk about this on customer service. We
Go
went
on.
to see Lionel Richie at the O2
How long was he on for?
all night long.
Hey, come on now. I'll set him up. You knock him out of the park, son.
It's just my destiny. You'd have to really know Lionel Richie.
That's good. I think that's one of his best underrated songs.
People were banging that out when he sang that.
You can't say
Anyway, if you haven't been to the O2 or any one of these concert things, these steps are very tiny. So going up and down them is more like going up and down a ladder.
Yeah. It's like mountaineering.
I spent a lot of money this weekend. I stayed at the Corinthia, not cheap. We dined at the Ivy, not cheap. We went to Rules for Sunday lunch, not cheap. But all those people offer exceptional customer service. So you can kid yourself that you're getting value for money, even though you're spending a lot of money. And then we went to the O2, and that's ordered me. She went, go and get us 2 bottles of water, please. And there's loads of concessions around the sort of concourse, is that what they would call it? And it was very busy. And I saw they had some Roundtree's fruit pastels. I thought I'll treat myself.
Oh, why not?
To some Roundtree's fruit pastels. So I said, I have 2 bottles of water and a packet of Roundtree's fruit pastels. £13.50. Not, so that's £13.50. £13.50. Just, that was the only word. That was the only, I said 2 bottles of water and a Roundtree's fruit pastels. He said $13.50. So my arse started palpitating because I thought that was a complete rip-off. And then he said, you can't have, so I unscrewed it. He was unscrewing it for me. I said, no, it's all right, I can unscrew the water for me. I thought that was the only genuine bit of good customer service I was getting here. He went, you can't have the lids. I went, what? He said, you can't have the lids.
That's right.
When I want the lids. So you can't have the lids in case you throw them at Lionel Richie. These lids, ladies and gents. I mean,
bear in mind, you got to throw it about 400 foot to get
basically
anywhere near him.
It was at this sort of size bottle of water. So 2 bottles of them and a packet of fruit pastels for £13.50 on anyone's watch is a rip-off.
Yes,
it is a rip-off. But they didn't have these like this.
Yeah,
they had the screw tops, which I didn't think were allowed anymore. I thought they'd banned those. The removable.
That's right. Yeah.
He said, no, in case you throw them at Lionel Richie. I said, so I can keep the bottle. Now,
full of liquid.
The lid weighs about 7 ounces in terms of weight.
Yeah.
The bottle weighs about 50
half a
ounces.
kilo.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I just thought this really annoyed me. So then I, as I said in my newsletter, became a Cirque du Soleil tribute act looking for L23455 and L23456, which were my seat numbers, which were amongst other people that hadn't discovered Manjaro and Ozempic. So I had to literally do a Cirque du Soleil tribute act to get over them whilst I mean, it was like this. So this is the bottle of Roundtree's fruit pastels. All right. I got there and I just didn't want the water anymore.
Which was good because I thought it was now down your shirt. You got
it was awful. I was sweating so much, worrying about spilling all that water on.
And those steps are actually very steep. So if you are a little bit older and you're not too comfortable on your feet, it's not a nice experience, is it?
And here's the business lesson: one person probably threw a lid. One
time about 10 years ago.
And now all 20,000 people that go there, millions of people go there each year to watch whoever their musts are.
Yeah.
And they get punished. I just really annoys me. Why did they not change it so that the lids don't come off?
Yeah. Stupidity.
Stupid O2. I don't want to go there ever again.
So now, also, like you said about you can
stick to mobile phones.
Kid yourself about.
You can't do hospitality.
You can't. What about if they offered you the CEO role of the O2?
Yeah, all I do is go, I need one day.
Need one day.
Get rid of them stupid lids. Let people have their lids.
Put Cafe Deli in as a supplier. We're having the lids. We're doing that water. Done.
If anyone knows in the comments why that stupid rule is there, can you let us know? I'm guessing it's because maybe someone slips on them. You can slip on a bottle.
Yeah, easily. You'd be more likely to slip on that than you would, especially if the floor's now wet. Anyway.
Anyway, Martin. Tell us about Martin's business.
Martin. Oh, I haven't done my interesting fact.
Oh, right. Yeah, what's yours?
So my interesting fact. So Martin's business is Platinum Transport Solutions. So he's in the haulage space, right? So I've done a bit of digging on the haulage space because it says all over his website, we're gold members of Fours. And I said, well, I don't even know what that is. It must be exciting, though. Let me check out how good Martin is. And Fours is the Fleet Operators Recognition Scheme. And I was like, okay.
Thinking about becoming a member?
I was thinking about becoming a member. Then I thought to myself, hang on a second. How many people are members of Fours? And there are 7,833 companies that are members of FORS, which is, again, for those who are interested, the Fleet Operator Recognition Scheme. I then thought to myself, well, I wonder how many vehicles these 7,833 people have. I had a lot of time on my hands yesterday. And I've done a bit of digging. It's 101,000, about 101,000 vehicles across the board that are owned by these 7,833 members. I then thought to myself, not satisfied enough with my investigative journalism, I thought to myself, how much is the value of those vehicles? Because you hear about companies like Martin's and you just drive past them. You don't even think like of how big an industry this is potentially. Anyway, ChatGPT worked out.
Hugely depreciate though, don't they?
They do, but if you think you've got the capital cost
Up front.
So the estimated, and this is based on the info that ChatGPT could find, the estimated value of the vehicles in the FORS scheme in the United Kingdom is £4.2 billion. That is across 1.01 billion in vans, that is 2.4 billion in HGVs and 800 million in others. So then when I'd done some digging, I was like, so what is that they've got to lay out to have these companies in the first place? Let's just say on average that all of those vehicles are split out between the 833 members. That gives each company's had to lay out to go to do their trade, to ply their trade. They've got to spend £541,395.
Well, there you go, Joe.
So when you see them just like pulling along on the M25 or up the M1, or you just take for granted that your shopping gets into the supermarkets for you to go and buy it, or you hear about companies like this and Martin's, doing quite well, doing 350 grand a month. You go, God, he's doing all right. But they've had to outlay £500,000.
And more. That's just the mean average, yeah?
So I just thought that was quite an interesting thing. And all these sectors that you don't realise.
That was very well thought out for you, because usually yours are rubbish.
Oh, I thought it yesterday. I thought,
Chance, I'm going to give him a little round of applause
Thank
for
you
that.
very much. I appreciate that. I've got to...
Finally.
I'll give myself that one. Anyway, should we talk about Martin's business now?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, Martin Webb runs Platinum Transport Solutions. He's only been running it for a year because he bought it off his old boss. You can find out more information about them, platinumtransportsolutions.co.uk. The business has been going for 20 plus years, but as I say, Martin and his business partner bought it last year. The former owners were going to sell it, and he's like, I don't really want to work for anyone else. I'd rather work for myself. So he decided to buy it. Their estimated monthly revenue is 350,000 squidaroonies per month. They've got 30 team members. The biggest challenge that they've got in the business right now is that profits are less than 10% and a need to increase the profit is what Martin says.
Well, it's not going to happen. The haulage doesn't have that.
Oh, Martin's in for a rough old conversation.
Sorry, I think 10% net profit on a haulage business is good.
Well, there you go. Maybe you can hype him up then. Challenge number 2 is marketing the business, making it known for what we do. We are a specialist haulage company using specialist equipment.
No. So they're a niche.
They're a niche business.
So the more specialist you are, the more chance you can have a higher profit. But if you're just moving Amazon gear, 10% is, it must be doing something. There'll be lots of haulage companies going, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because some of them are like 2, 3, 4%.
Well, we will find out. Third biggest challenge, increasing cost of the business, and I need to plan for the future. He said in the pre-chat the costs are going through the roof and you can't pass that cost on to the end consumer. So he's wanting to future-proof that. Needs a bit of advice and guidance around it. We asked Martin, what does your business look like in 1 year's time? He said, I want to increase profit margins. That's it. He's a one-trick pony. He's just after that one thing right now. We said, what would the business look like when it is finished? He said, multiple depots across the country. Do you make the profit that you want to make? And if so, what is it? He said, no, we'd like to increase the profit margin to 15% in 12 months to get circa £550,000 in profitability in the next year.
How much? He wants 550,000 in profit.
550, which is 15%. As opposed to the 10 he's getting at the moment. So we'll dig into that in a bit more detail.
I mean, look, we know that there's a great book, isn't it, about selling your business, which is called
Built to Sell.
Built to Sell. And that book really goes into it. The specialist made the money rather than the generalist. You need huge scale to be a generalist. Now, if it's a specialist type haulage business, it could be really good. I don't know what that specialist is. I mean, if you're moving nuclear bombs, for example, I'm sure you'll, be charging quite a lot of money.
You'd want to.
If you're moving, packages for Amazon, not so.
No, absolutely. We asked him, how do you spend your time day to day in the business? And he said, well, I'm working in the business, booking jobs, dealing with drivers, alongside trying to run the business and pushing the development. We also asked him What does it look like when it's finished? Did he tell us that? No, he's not answered that question. Okay, swerve that question. Fine, so we don't know that. And then he's got a bunch of questions that he would like to ask to you. So let's get him on, shall we? And find out from the proverbial horse's mouth.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that, you're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free, 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Hello, Martin. How are you, sir? Oh, you're muted. Martin's on mute. You're on mute, Martin. Hello, Martin. How are you?
Hello there. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
We are very well, thank you, my friend. Tell us then, give us the quick origin story, the whip around version of events for Platinum Transport Solutions, mate. So we understand how you and your business partner came to own it rather than just work for it.
So Platinum Transport, based in Belvedere near Dartford in Kent, was founded in 2001 by two friends really, and they developed a business alongside a load of vans. And slowly moved up to HGVs. I was working as a lorry driver back in 2010, 2011 for various companies, and I moved over to this company in 2019. Took over a lot of their compliance and booking in jobs, etc. COVID happened. The business did very well in COVID. And around 2023, the two owners decided that they wanted to sell up and do some other things. So the owners were looking at people to buy it. They found some people, a consultant of people to buy the business, and come towards the end. And I said to them, listen, I'm not keen on working for somebody else. I've built all this knowledge. I'm practically running your company for you. I don't want to work for somebody else. A lot of conversation went through, and eventually they said, well, do you want to buy it? And I went, yeah, of course, no problem. I'm thinking, where am I going to get the money for that from? Anyway, by the time we'd been through the rigmarole with the other people, we found out how they was buying it, and we just kind of mirrored that way of working. And in May 2024, we took over ownership, me and my business partner.
What was the way they were going to buy it?
It was a payment up front, and then basically through retained profits from the business. So they still own a small share, but they've left us completely in charge of it, and we run it for ourselves, I suppose, now. And we just pay them a small dividend every month until we clear the debt off.
Yeah. So you're doing vendor finance. What payment did you have to find up front, and how did you fund that?
We found it through my granddad, actually. Luckily for him, where he lives, the property was worth quite a bit, so he put his property up for sale, and I financed it through that.
So you got to pay him back as well?
Yeah, I've got to pay him back as well, yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, listen, I think he saw how dedicated I was to the business, and I was sort of working 24 hours a day as it was running it for him, and he was sort of more than happy. He even suggested it, to be fair.
Oh.
Good old granddad.
What's his name? What's his name? Let's give him a shout out. Bill. Thank you, Bill.
I bet he loves
really
this podcast.
Out, like I say, he saw the opportunity and he offered it himself.
I love him.
So yeah, he's done a great service to us. It's very.
So when do you start paying him back?
Who knows? To be honest, who knows? Hopefully at the end of this call, when we've worked out a few things, I might be able to start paying him back.
And what about this business partner? Why the business partner? Why did you not?
So my business partner is actually she's the sister of one of the old owners, and so she basically run all the account side of the business and the legal side. And like I said, without her there, the business would no longer be here. And she's absolutely fantastic at the backroom stuff, should we say? Yeah, the money side of things. So that was what I was very good at, the compliance, very good at the managing of the day to day, and she was fantastic at managing the backside. So it was a natural sort of partnership, really. We'd already worked well together over the years, so it just worked out well.
And is it equal or is it?
Yeah, it's completely equal. Yeah.
So you put in all the deposit money
Yes.
and you gave her half the business.
Yes.
Wow.
We worked together for a long time. We are like family. The money will go back eventually. You know, it's not something I took lightly. So yeah.
So if a decision needs to be made, do you make it? Are you the MD, or is there clearly defined roles?
No, we are that right down the middle, if that makes sense. So she is the brother of the owner, of the ex-owner. So if there was any issues, he does have money. But like I said, we have a fantastic relationship, and that's the way we did it, just to get it over the line.
Wow, amazing.
No worries about the money whatsoever with her. Like she's absolutely fantastic. And again, the business wouldn't be here without her.
It's good. Sounds symbiotical. Well done. Okay, right. So let's get into the challenges. JB, do you want to read them out?
Yeah, challenge number 1, profits are less than 10% and then we need to increase them. Tell us a bit more about that, Martin.
Right, so as we were saying, great research on the fours. So we are a gold member. Now, so you get bronze, silver and gold. There's not many gold members. And what we specialise in is what's called a Moffat truck, which is the forklifts on back of the lorries and high-abs. I've got 20 Moffat vehicles. So I think we are probably the biggest in the south of England for the fleet of this vehicle. So we do a lot of construction, a lot of events, a lot of specialist movements.
Just for listeners, if I wanted to go and buy, what are they, like 22-ton vehicles?
So you get anything. You get 26 ton, 32 ton, articulated, which is 44. I've got everything. So the Moffat vehicle really would probably start at a 26 ton vehicle. So
the 32 is more common though, is it?
A 32 is a four-wheeled lorry, about the size of a bin lorry. I would say the 26s are more popular just simply because of the manoeuvrability.
All right. So if I wanted to buy a 26-ton Moffat vehicle, brand spanking new, what is it going to cost? Just for listeners.
Funny you say that. I've just bought one and took delivery of one on Friday, and I've got another one due today. £148,000 a vehicle, and then your Moffat on the back, you're probably looking at about 50.
Wow.
You're looking at 200 grand to start.
What's a Moffat? So that's the
so it's a forklift that comes off the back. It lifts 2.5 ton.
You got some in the back here?
No, you'll see a lorry. They've got them on the back.
There's got a thing strapped on the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of them. Okay.
So when you get to location, you can unload yourself, can't you?
We unload ourselves.
So it's 200 grand. That set is 200 grand per truck.
Yeah, give or take per lorry. Yeah.
And what's the life of it?
If you look after it, 7-8 years really. I mean, the problem you get is the changing in regulations. You've had Euro 6 come in, the ultra low emission zone. That's caused a lot of problems for people. I'd say 7 years, 8 years if you look after it.
And what's its value at year 7?
A smidge above worthless, if I'm honest.
But the Moffat still has value.
The Moffats, again, depends how much you look after them. You might get 8-10 grand for a Moffat.
This is really
the Moffats you want to try and keep as long as possible. It's the lorries really that depreciate, and like I said, changing in regulations mean that they're no longer usable. For example, you just don't know what's coming, do you?
So with your maintenance, because you have to do maintenance in this heavy goods every 6 weeks, don't you?
Yeah. So minimum is 6 weeks, could go up to 13, but all of ours are 6 weekly. Yeah.
So say it costs you 40 grand in finance, depreciation, and maintenance a year per vehicle. Is that about right?
Yeah, I haven't got the numbers with me, but I imagine that is probably about right. Yes.
Plus a driver.
Yeah.
Plus fuel.
Yeah.
So what would you weigh, like $2.5 grand a week to put the thing on the road with fuel,
at least
staff?
That, yeah. At least that, yeah.
Let's say 3. Oh, just so people don't realise.
No, I've got no idea.
The cost of running a haulage or logistics company is just astronomical. Like I said, the change in regulation has killed a lot of companies off. Just the amount of money that goes out the door before it comes back in again. And obviously that's why our profit margin is 10%. And you were saying before, and that is pretty good. You're correct, but with the equipment that we've got, we should be aiming for a bit more. we're never going to be hitting 20, 30, 40, 50%.
No.
I know that. But I've got a 50,000 foot warehouse here that costs a lot of money to rent every month, you know. So I need to be making a lot of money just to break even.
I mean, the first thing that I'd be working on is how can you buy that bloody warehouse? That would be.
Yeah, like I said, we're based in southeast London, so you're talking millions, and they're all owned by big landlords.
But do you have to? Can't you be 10 minutes outside of that?
Yeah, well, that's the thing we're looking at. Once this lease ends, we're looking at moving out past Dartford and them areas because the land is cheaper. Also, there's a thing called direct vision zone, so it means a lot of foreign lorries can't come into this area, which does obviously hamper our efforts of getting the storage.
Can I just take I would be start looking for that now though, because
Yeah.
it can take a couple of years to find these places.
I remember when I took this place, it took me a year and a half to try and find this place.
Unbelievable! Like and every. I mean, so what's your rent on that place?
So this place here is 45 grand a month, and it's 30,000 square feet. And I've got another one round the corner, which we're getting a good deal on the moment. That's about 25 grand a month.
And is that including rates?
No.
So what's your rates?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I haven't got that information here a lot. That's where my
would be about half of that
information. Half of that, I would say at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand. This, So if you've got 540 grand a year rent,
give or take.
Yeah, I mean, I would, and then divide that by 2, so then 270 grand a year in business rates. I mean, with the electric and whatever, it's £1 million to have that building, isn't it? That's basically.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I looked at buildings around this area that were $1 million plus rent a year on their own. Without rates, without insurance. It was unbelievable.
What you need to do though is you just need to tell the universe, I am going to own a building.
Yes.
That is you just need to make that it's so essential. You just wake up in the morning and go, I'm buying a building. You've been changed the wallpaper in your bedroom and saying, I own a building. Like that would be my top priority and if you spend enough time working on it, they do come up, I promise you, because but they don't come up. You ain't going to have a choice of 20 next week.
Of course, I understand that.
Because let me just give you some context to that. If you are paying that down as a mortgage, you're going to get capital allowances, which is a big rebate off your corporation tax. Get your accountant to give you some good advice on this. And then every year you'll be paying off capital and you'll be building invisible wealth. And you'll be increasing the company's balance sheet rather than paying rent. I mean, and also the big thing, not to scare you, when you leave this place, they will give you a slapped up dilapidations bill. They just
absolutely, yeah.
And for listeners that don't know this, they want you to paint the floor, paint the walls, remove air conditioning, remove LED lighting. If you've made any improvements to the building, they'll charge you for that. Because it's a right old farce, I mean, it's just
very,
awful.
Very true, yeah. So we've had that. I had to repair a floor, bit of concrete cracked, and to repair a floor, a lot of arguing to and froing about that. They want us to paint the floor in our old warehouse.
Just Martin, can you just come closer to the microphone? Because we're just
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
I was just saying, in our previous warehouse, there was a bit of floor damage. They wanted us to repair. They wanted all the floors painted, all the lights changed, and they was knocking the warehouse down. No one's been in it since.
No, I know they do this. They just try it on. I mean, I've gone to court over this. Won a few of them. I had one, JB. I'll tell you this story. We painted the warehouse white, right? All the walls white, and they said it was magnolia before, and we want it back to magnolia.
No, really?
25 grand to paint the massive warehouse, and they said, but you could give us 20 grand and we'll accept it.
Oh, really?
Fast. That's why.
Oh, so it's literally a stitch-up job.
Well, I mean, if you paint it a luminous pink, I think there's something.
But in that instance, like magnolia is not as good as white, like.
But a lot of these companies, they really.
Or give us 20 grand and we won't bother with it. Yeah,
they really try it on.
Yes, they do. So we've had that as well.
So that's why I own them so much better. Right,
absolutely.
So that's a way of increasing your profits. You just got to make sure that that's your, improve your cash flow. I mean, I reckon you could buy a £5 million warehouse and have, that paid off over 25 years would be less than what you're paying out in terms of cash flow on the 540 grand in mortgage, in rent payments, be lower in mortgage.
I think you're probably right there. Yes, that's certainly something to look at.
And you won't have the big I mean, I reckon you'll have a huge dilapidations bill on that when you leave.
Yeah, I dread to think that far ahead. You're most likely right. I mean, we would say it's owned by a big landlord as well. So,
I know companies go bust to get out of it.
Really?
They just put their business into administration.
Wow. How long's your lease left on it, mine?
Got another 2 years.
Oh, so you have got to start looking.
We was planning on renewing, and we have had that conversation, and they was happy to us for renew. But like I said, the rents are constantly going up, the service charges are going up.
Have you asked them if you can buy where you're at?
I haven't, no.
I mean, I would just ask them. It's probably a no, but it's worth the ask.
It's worth asking for sure. The reason why I haven't is just because of this, what was called this direct vision. So lorries now have to be at a certain level of vision for cyclists, and if you're in this area, you have to have the cameras and sensors installed. Obviously, a lot of the freight comes from Europe, and European lorries don't have the cameras and don't have the system installed, so they actually can't come into this area. So that is one of our biggest issues, where our competitors, for example, who are out in Kent, they will take lorries from Europe and get the freight and then deliver it into the city. We can't do that because the lorries don't have permits. So that falls in to us moving in a couple of years' time.
So you'd move further out of London then, further down the Medway corridor.
I don't want to, because obviously that extends our time into London, and a lot of our work is London. But that's the way it's going to have to be, unfortunately.
But I mean, if it's only 2 years, you've got to get on that now, haven't you?
Yeah. It's very hard to find somewhere. I would agree.
Well, I mean, maybe you keep what you asked. I mean, think of this. If you ask the landlords, "Can I buy this?" they might say yes, and then you have a smaller warehouse outside of London where the European lorries come in and then
off.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly our other thought as well. We just have a little hub warehouse. And the rest of it goes elsewhere.
Because I mean, I do know, having Cafe Deli. I mean, we are a transport company, really, like you, but not running HGVs. Although we will be doing that in the future. I absolutely get it as an operator. Being close to London, where all your 9 million customers are, is also handy Harry, isn't it?
Absolutely. So a lot of our events that we do, like the London Marathon, we do all of that. So that we are ideally located for that. So we distribute all the water for London Marathon across all the stations. We have 19 vehicles on the day.
Can I supply the water to you?
You could try, yeah.
I mean, come on, help me out, help a man out. Cafe Deli could help you with all of that.
I can certainly put you in contact with the London Marathon to supply it.
I mean, we can supply all of that without London. Yeah, I mean, not a problem. That sounds like a gig I want.
Yes, I can certainly put you in contact. So that's where our Moffats come in, you see, because we go out there Sunday morning, we do all the setups for the 2 weeks before, and then Sunday morning, all the lorries go out to different stations, and we deliver all the water down. We set it all up for the team to run it for the day. We then collect it at the end of the day. We do another 2 weeks of de-rigging, various things across especially Blackheath, and then it all comes back here for storage. Wow. So we do get some good gigs from it. But like I said, it's just the profit margin, the cost of everything here is so high.
But that's every business at the moment, Martin. I think,
absolutely, it is. You are definitely right.
I honestly feel like more than ever, I mean, I've been doing this for a quarter of a century now, really have. Never have I felt like I'm working for HMRC as much as I feel like I am now. I mean, it's just a joke.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's how I see it now. Again, I've loved business since I was 15. I've followed you for many, many years, and I don't think I realised when I took over. I don't think I realised how hard it would be. And you're definitely right. I mean, when I was running,
you never realised, Martin, until you signed the checks.
Absolutely. I'm signing
even if
money.
You've done the job, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were running the business. You were doing the exact job, but because it wasn't your money, there's just something very different about it.
And that is that's exactly the thing. It wasn't my money. So although I did care about it, I didn't care about it.
Are you doing judo there, Martin? Are you doing a judo session whilst talking?
No, not
He's got to make ends meet, isn't he? He's teaching Brazilian jiu-jitsu at the same time as transport.
Trying to get the money in. So and teach
Trying
at
to
the
make
same
a
time.
quid, we've got to respect that.
I mean, look, the rules. 3 KPI rule. Number 1, you produce a set of monthly management accounts. Number 2,
Yep.
you track your average customer value. Number 3, you track your labour to turnover ratio. It will apply for your business, and you need to have that dashboard information on a daily basis. And the more specialist you can be over generalist usually drives profit up.
We're definitely specialists. We don't get involved in any Amazon, any pallet network, anything that's sort of general. It's all Moffats, Hiabs, specialists.
But maybe you could get
equipment.
more specialist. I mean, that book that JB had, I don't know if you was listening in the intro. What is it called?
Built to Sell.
Built to Sell. Get that as an audio book. Are you when you're next driving in the cab?
Absolutely. I listen every day.
It don't take long. It don't take long. And I think there's
It's got a podcast as well, actually. It's very good.
Yeah, maybe. Well, start with the book and then move
fine,
over to the
okay,
podcast. But I do think there's some really good lessons in there. You know, and certainly we've done hundreds of these pods now. The ones that the specialists make all the money, whether it's a dentist or a doctor or a vet. You know, the generalist vets, they do okay. They get by. Same with any doctors. Soon as you become like the specialist of the specialist, the price that you can charge is just astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely do charge more money for the service, but then we have to pay our drivers more money because they're
absolutely.
trained drivers. The vehicles cost more money, so it's all relative. I think at the moment, I'm hoping our second question will help us increase the profits, and we'll go into exactly.
Well,
what
let's
we're
do it.
talking
What
about
is
there.
it?
And the second question, marketing the business, making it known for what we do. We are a specialist haulage firm using specialist equipment. So how would you market this firm?
Well, I would be thinking, Martin, probably like most businesses in this sector, you probably just need 10 good customers, 10 more London marathons a year to change your world. Would that be a fair assumption?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of business owners do is they go into thinking they're Amazon. You know, we can't help it. I do it sometimes. You know, we need hundreds.
We need
of
everyone.
thousands. Yeah, we need everyone. They need hundreds of thousands of leads. You know, actually, you just need 10 really good customers. And I would try and get yourself into a business development position. Now, I'll tell you a little story at Cafe Deli. We've just taken on a big customer. They will probably spend anywhere between £500,000 and £1 million a year with us. It's taken 6 months to get them on. We do it 6 months ago, and it's that constant relationship. I've been saying to our sales, don't worry, keep talking. We've finally got them over, starting to order from us. That'll make a big difference to our business. And if we can find 10 more of those, that's better. And then also, if I was running this business, I would be doing a little bit of sprinkling of PPC, specialist haulage. I wouldn't be doing general haulage. I would make sure I've got specialist, whatever the section that you are around your space. But I would get a business development person going out there finding you work, an actual boots on the ground person.
That's literally what I've just done in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So we spend about £5,000 a month with Google. Some of the leads are fantastic, some not so. But what I did find when we took over is that the business just wasn't marketed well. You know, the fleet that we've got and the amount of vehicles that we've got, people didn't know we existed. We used to get other haulers giving us work for our equipment. And I say, once I started looking at the website, looking at our Google, I realised then that basically the SEO wasn't particularly good. The website had been changed, and I don't think the SEO had really been updated in a few years. And again, the Google AdWords weren't correct either. So we are slowly doing that now.
But that's all good, and I'm very glad you're doing that. I want you to do that, but most businesses are doing that. But what the 10 rule I have is get yourself a flip chart, write down the 10 companies that need your service. You'll know who they are, ABC Limited, EEFG Limited, whoever they are, and then work out how you get in front of them. And it will only, you'll know, I wish we had that contract. You'll know that, you'll be thinking
exactly
it in your mind.
I know the contracts and where they are. It's just getting into them and getting to that person who makes the decisions.
Well,
that's one of our big things of the business.
Find out who they are, and then
that's the hard bit, which I'm trying to do now, is trying to find out who
letters
makes
in the
decisions.
post. Those 10 people. I mean, send them a balloon in a box. Find out who they are. Send them a giant lorry. Toy. Just get their attention so it sits on their desk and
Absolutely,
say, look, I really, because maybe. If there was 30 customers that you could serve, half of them are not being served well. and half of them are really happy. But those half that are not being served well probably can't be bothered to move and just think, oh, look, some is
Stick
better
with what
than
you
that.
know.
Stick
Better the
with
devil
all,
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of that
absolutely.
palaver.
Absolutely.
But those direct lumpy mail, I'm a big fan of for this sort of thing.
I'll certainly give it a go. Yeah.
What's the third one, JB?
Third one is increasing costs of the business and need to plan for the future.
I'll drive to
kinda
you and give
brings
you a
us back
cuddle
to the-
right now.
Yes, that kind of brings back to the thing earlier about moving buildings, isn't it? Moving out.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, is with this type of business, if I bought this off of you tomorrow, I would be working on that more than anything else.
Of course,
Even if I didn't have the money for the deposit or whatever, I would then go to a bank and say, look, we've been established for 30 years. Lend me the deposit over 5 years. Lend me the term over 25 years. We're really profitable. Look at all this sweat I've put into it. And you would find a bank lending you the money because you are profitable, and there would be someone that would take a chance on you. But the biggest thing is not getting the money. The biggest thing is finding the building. Yeah,
absolutely. I completely agree with that. Obviously, it's all our maintenance costs just go up and up and up. Every single cost you can think of, vehicles, staff wages have gone through the roof.
It's ridiculous.
And also, I think that, especially in this industry, you struggle to get good staff. It's not an industry that people particularly love. You've got lorry drivers out sleeping in lorries in poor services. It's not an industry that's attracting good drivers. It's not an industry that's attracting good staff.
In 10 years, I think sooner than that. I'm not being woo-woo here. I think they're going to become more and more autonomous. They're doing it in China and America now. People think it isn't coming. It is absolutely coming, this.
Certainly for the sort of direct transport, the overnights, the hub to hub, most definitely. Most definitely.
In China, they are literally going across the country with no drivers in heavy goods vehicles.
Really?
Yeah. They're doing it. It's not.
I've seen it. Yeah,
it is.
It's not the future. It's the present.
There are driverless taxis in San Francisco, in Texas. It is actually happening. This. That's mad. I'm doing it every day. Just getting in a taxi with no person there. It's happening. The future is here.
Well, there we go. Well, Martin, hopefully that has been food for thought.
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely,
it's been a useful conversation, mate. It sounds like a big part of the plan, especially if you've got a 2 year left on that lease, is to get out and find that building as quickly as possible. I think it's worth just having a look at your website. Functions quite nicely. I don't think you do enough of a song and dance about like the London Marathon, because stuff like that.
Just quickly, Martin, I know we've got to go because we've got another one, but I think this is a very good business from what you're telling me. Like, you should be happy you're making a 10% not profit. Not a lot of businesses are doing that right now. I think if you're making it more specialist, how many years have you had it?
Me owning it?
Yeah.
Since May 24, so only a year.
Come on, baby.
But I've been running it for them for coming on 5 now.
But look,
and I think for me, the passion is so high that everyone wants to make a load of money, but for me, it's more about having our lorries on the road with our name running down the side of the lorry and putting a smile on my face, as opposed to becoming rich. Like Het said, once we have multiple depots.
Do both.
Absolutely. But being rich is not my main goal. I'd like to have a nice house and a nice car, but having them lorries on the road looking fantastic and doing a good job for someone is worth more to me.
I love that passion. That's why
it
you're
really
with.
is. I'm not just
that
saying
is
that.
why
It
you're
really
with.
is.
No, I know. I get it. I've
always said that. I'm so passionate about this industry and this company. That trumps everything. It
There
really
you go,
does.
mate. Good stuff. Well, thank you for being on the show. Right.
Thank you very much, Martin. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, pal. There you go,
Cheers.
Martin, all the way from Platinum Transport. If that's not passion, I don't know what is.
Well, should we grade him?
I think we should. Let's absolutely do that. It's time for the 8. Have you got your list now?
Not really, no.
Last time around we didn't have the list, did we? Here we go. It's time for the 8 traits of the greats. To put the show where James Sinclair, award-winning entrepreneur, rates our guests and lets us know what he thinks in terms of their 8 traits of greatness. Are they going to make it? Are they great enough to
Thinking
make
with
it?
the end in mind, I think he has
Oh,
that.
yeah, he's got that.
Be passionate about your cause.
He loves a truck. Are you mad? And Moffat, he loves them.
Having untold amounts of resilience, he's definitely finding that out right now.
I like where this is going.
Mastering relationships, not good enough. I think he's good at it, but...
Are you joking?
Well, where's the 10 people? He's relying on Google people. I mean, that's...
I think you'll be.
I'm going to give you a half for
Fine.
that.
None.
It's only a year in.
Fine.
Commercial awareness.
Definitely.
No, I'm giving him a half.
Are you joking?
No,
he's
no.
he's not the money person.
He didn't know his numbers as good as he needs to when I asked him some stuff.
He knew his. You're marking this guy very harshly.
If you don't innovate or evaporate, yeah, I'll give him that. Do you think?
Oh, it's no point. I'm
No,
not joining in.
No. Do you think he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, master marketer. No, not yet.
Not yet. No, he's doing a lot of the right stuff.
All right, we give him half. This is a very good score for someone that's a year in. Stay teachable and curious.
He's got
Yes.
that. Come on. Tie it
1,
up.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5.
I think that's right,
no
though.
laugh.
That is no laugh when you get a 6.5. I think that's
Not many people get that.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
He's doing very, very well in a challenging sector.
Okay, can I just say, Martin, when you listen back to it, I do want to score you highly, but you're only a year in, and I just think, I want you to come on in a couple of years and you become
See
an
what
8.
he's done next.
Yeah. I think he could be an 8.
He could.
Because he's got a good model.
Yeah.
There's a predictable love, want, and need.
I
business.
think that those people as well who generally
Actually,
love
can I
what
just
they
say
do.
something? Martin, if you're listening to this and you give me the water contract for the marathon, I'll give you an 8.
Of course you will. There's always got to be something in it for Sinclair. Right, let's do the business quiz quickly because we've got to wrap things up. Right. Thank you, Chuds.
It's Jim versus JP.
Oh, it's your turn to read.
Yeah,
Quiz
that's
and
meant to
business
see.
scene.
Business
Business knowledge and it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb? Izzy Wizzy.
Let's get quizzy. Here we go.
Quite broad question, this. I'm not sure. How many lorries import goods into the UK every day?
How many lorries import goods into the... Okay.
So is this coming from only from France? Because most of it comes on a boat.
Holland.
Yeah.
Coming from Holland, couldn't it? Le Havre.
What are you going
Could
with?
come in from Ireland. Don't forget about the Irish there, Jimmo. Could be coming into Liverpool, couldn't it? Like, sorry for anyone in Ireland there. That was terrible. Borderline racist accent.
What are you going with?
I reckon 50,000 trucks coming.
I've
today.
gone 30,000.
30,000.
The answer is 16,000. I'm the winner here.
Of course you are.
In 2022, foreign registered vehicles, heavy goods vehicles, imported 20.2 million tonnes of goods into the UK. The Port of Dover handles £122 billion worth of goods annually, representing 17% of the UK's entire trade in goods. In 2024, imports decreased by 3%.
There you go.
We are definitely going through economic tough times, aren't we?
We are, definitely are. We're an island nation. We need it as well.
People are just not confident as well at the moment. A lack of confidence.
Do you know what? People are already talking about, when the next lot come in. We've still got a 2.5 year, no, don't do politics. We've still got 2.5 years of this Labour government.
No, you've still got 4 years,
Have we got?
potentially.
Have
It's
we got?
5-year terms and they've been in...
I thought it was 4-year terms
No,
and they've
no.
been in a year. Oh, right. We've got even
Well,
longer.
no, it's up to 5 years. Sometimes they call it a bit early, don't they?
Oh, okay.
But
they-
we're not...
they
I
ain't
don't-
gonna call
I
this one
actually
early.
I don't think we're a year yet. I think it was July, wasn't it?
No, surely we've got to be a year into this nonsense. We don't do politics.
Don't do politics.
We don't do politics. But I'm hearing that a lot of people are like, oh, when Nigel gets in, we'll be all right. Honestly, I'm hearing that a lot.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
I
it's
think-
where I'm knocking about. I like the little reform scooter that's outside your Blue Ball Hotel.
Oh, yeah, there was someone. We have a...
There's a cardboard cutout of Nigel Farage and there's somebody drinks in Jim's pub who's got a reform scooter.
yeah.
It's brilliant. But there you go. Uncertainty, it makes it difficult in business terms, doesn't it? Right. We got to get out of here. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your downloads. If you're a regular listener, you know that Jimbo's got an event coming up. He's got to feed the kids. So come to Business Masterclass, jamesinclair.net.
Subscribe to the channel if you're listening on YouTube.
There you go. And then we've got to go. Bye.